This video contains strong language which some viewers may find offensive. Hello, my name is Seb and welcome to JumpInsideGames. In today's episode we're doing a review and we're exploring the game Still Wake the Deep, an intense first-person horror game set on an offshore rig in 1970 Scotland as you play as Cameron Class McClary. As the oil rig drills into the depth of the ocean, you unleash an unknown horror of the seas. Let's dive right in and let's see what this game has to offer. It's Christmas 1975 and you're working on an oil rig. It's just an average day, everything seems normal, you get told the drills have started, you're having relationship issues back home off the rig, and your one and only task is to get to the canteen. Now I will mention before going into this next cutscene, and like I said at the beginning of the video, this game does have strong language in it.
You alright, Roy?
Cars, me old mucker. I do.
McClary, to my office.
So Rinnick asks for us to go to his office. This part of the game is just to get us used to the controls. The game shows us how to navigate around the boat, how to get around, before going into the elevator and meeting Rinnick.
Ah, Mr. McClary. So glad you could join me and sorry to have got you out of bed. Shut the door and have a seat.
I'm fine, Stan.
Sit your ass in that chair, you fucking liability.
But I
run a tight ship. Do you understand me? A tight ship.
After having a good old conversation with Rinnick, you get fired.
You're fired. You hear me? Fired.
And I also completely blame him for what's about to happen to the rig.
It's a fucking drill. You've got a fucking drill, so drill through it.
Not long after he drills through it, does this happen to the rig.
Jesus, Gregor! Gregor! Get away from the edge! Guys! Guys! Get back, man! Guys! Help me!
And then you experience a bit of a weird flashback.
Christ, but you're a right pair. 2 bars and a ball bag.
Now listen, Pat. I promise I'll take care of him.
And then you wake up very shortly after because some people helped rescue you and you end up here. And this is where they tell you what's just happened.
What's going on, Brody? What happened? Don't know. The drill hit something. An air pocket or gas explosion, nobody knows. But whatever it was big.
And that big thing was a monster in the ocean that you'll start to see play out as this game proceeds. So that's pretty much the overall of the game story. Now let me explain just a little bit more of how this whole game works when it comes to running around and navigating places. Basically, if you're not sure where to go, look out for something yellow. Yellow is normally the indicator for come this direction. This is the way you proceed. It normally indicates you can climb on something or jump over something.
Just get across.
Once you complete a level, you'll have to access a door like this to go to the next area of what the game offers. So now we're in Leg C, and because we've learned how to parkour and jump around, and we have a bit of knowledge of how to get around the ship and what to look out for, which is obviously these yellow markers, as you can now start seeing, the game starts to proceed you into the horror aspect of the game, the things that will make you jump scared, and trust me, it's very, very good at it. If there's one thing that I absolutely hate about horror more than just randomly running away from things, it's the sound. See, the sound is scarier than actually seeing something, or shadows are scarier than actually seeing something, because with sound, you know something's coming, but you don't know when. Your brain goes, you can hear something is going to chase after you at some point, but because it's going to be a jump scare, you have no idea when it's going to happen or how it's going to happen. You start preparing inside your head all these different scenarios, and your character starts getting all this equipment, being prepared, but you don't know what for or when you're actually going to need it. So when something like this happens, it has me on the edge of my chair, and the character doesn't help either, because he's like, what was that, what was that? And you're like, okay, something's definitely going to happen. And it's that adrenaline rush feel that I love to feel when playing these types of games, because when it's got your adrenaline pumping and you're ready to face what's out there, or ready to run the heck out of the way because you've just seen something, when something like this happens, I completely cower and run the heck away from it. I mean, I had to press the pause menu and just mentally break down what was happening inside my head before I could proceed to the next area, because I was on the edge of my seat. I was actually quite scared of what was happening. I was jump scared, and it did a very good job at doing it. And that's what I'm going to call, let's say, little horrors in this game. The horrors that you don't see coming. Now, it does some very obvious horrors as well, and I'll get into those right now. See, an obvious horror isn't so much as it's scary, it's more just creepy looking. And the game doesn't shy away from doing both in this game. Yes, it does some scary jump scare stuff, and at other times it just does some creepy stuff as well. Like, for example, this creature right here looks completely ugly, however, I wasn't really scared of it. And let me tell you, some of these creature designs are very unique, are very actually quite creepy and ugly, and they're like massive, and you're like, oh, what the heck is happening? And yeah, that's what some of these creatures look like in this game. Now, this game isn't completely a horror game at all parts. Some of this game is an instruction manual, and you have to do a couple of challenges to get past something. For example, how to unlock a boat in the right way. No! Or restarting a generator by pressing the right buttons in the right order. Now, if you're wondering, does this game have a story? Yes, it does. I haven't really talked about much of the story inside this video. I'm not going to because of spoilers, but I will mention that this game definitely does have a story in it, and it goes quite deep as well. Now, overall, I wasn't quite sure if I was going to enjoy this or not, but to be honest, I absolutely had an awesome time playing this, and for the first 2 hours of experience of what you're seeing on screen, this game really does just throw you into the deep end, and that is not a pun, that is a good thing, because this is a very excellent game. Now, if I have to say what type of person this game is made for, just before I give it my final scores, I'd say if you like playing Outlast. See, Outlast is the game I would compare this to, because Outlast also has jump scares and it has a bit of parkour in it, lots of running around, your character's using no weapons, just like this character. Overall, I'd say this game is very much similar to Outlast. So if you're an Outlast player and you like the very first Outlast, then I'd say very much this game is a high indicator of this is definitely designed more for you. Now, if this game is set to be a horror game with parkour, I think it aced to be a horror game with parkour, which is why I'm giving this game a 10 out of 10. It achieved what it set out to do. It's got that lovely bit of storyline, but not too much. It's got that lovely horror that I like in a horror game, and it's definitely got the parkour in it as well. Not too much, but enough to make it enjoyable. There was no getting lost in this game. Everything was very straightforward. I knew what to head for. There was lovely yellow indicators to guide me from A to B, so I knew what I was doing. Maybe one or twice I got a little bit stuck, but overall I knew very much the direction I was meant to be going into. This game is on Game Pass, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, Steam, and Epic Games if you're interested. And thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time on another Jump Inside video. Goodbye.